Number 32, Mike Piatnik.
Le numéro 17.
Number 17, Todd Martin.
Numéro 44.
Number 44, Randy Peck.
Numéro 39.
Number 30, Craig Crawford.
Pour l'équipe du Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your coaches for Team Canada. Terry Bader, Bob Buckflag, and Mark Smith.
Et maintenant, l'alignement partant pour l'équipe des États-Unis.
And ladies and gentlemen, here is your starting lineup for Team USA.
Le premier frappeur au premier but, numéro 24.
Batting first, playing first base, number 24, Sean Rychak.
Le deuxième frappeur, le voltigeur centre, le numéro 7.
Batting second, playing center field, number 7, Steve King.
Le troisième frappeur, le frappeur désigné, le numéro 5.
Batting third, the designated hitter, number 5, Brian Marty.
Le quatrième frappeur, le voltigeur droit, numéro 26.
Batting fourth, the right fielder, number 26, Barry Taylor.
Le cinquième frappeur, le receveur, numéro 6.
Batting fifth, the catcher, number 6, Tim Wall.
Le sixième frappeur, le joueur du troisième but, le numéro 28.
Batting sixth, playing third base, number 28, Anthony Farinacci.
Le septième frappeur, le voltigeur gauche, numéro 27.
Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 27, Chris DeLauro.
Le huitième frappeur, l'arrêt-court, numéro 8.
Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 8, David Boyes.
Le neuvième frappeur, le joueur du deuxième but, numéro 11.
Batting ninth, playing second base, number 11, Aaron Earlywine.
Le lanceur, numéro 23.
And the starting pitcher, number 23, Doug Middleton.
Mesdames et messieurs, l'équipe des États-Unis.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team USA.
Et maintenant, représentant l'équipe du Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's your starting lineup for Team Canada.
Le premier frappeur, le voltigeur centre, numéro 21.
Batting first, the center fielder, number 21, Brian Patton.
Le deuxième frappeur, le voltigeur gauche, numéro 11.
Batting second, the left fielder, number 11, Paul Rosebud.
Le troisième frappeur, le voltigeur droit, numéro 20.
Batting third, the right fielder, number 20, Colin Abbott.
Le quatrième frappeur, le frappeur désigné, le numéro 19.
Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 19, Steve Price.
Le cinquième frappeur, le receveur, numéro 3.
Batting fifth, the catcher, number 3, Doug Chase.
Le sixième frappeur, le frappeur de premier but, numéro 23.
Batting sixth, playing first base, number 23, Kevin Bobrovsky.
Le septième frappeur, le frappeur du deuxième but, numéro 35.
Batting seventh, playing second base, number 35, Adam Smith.
Le huitième frappeur, l'arrêt-court, numéro 27.
Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 27, Chris Jones.
Le neuvième frappeur, le joueur du troisième but, le numéro 29.
Batting ninth, playing third base, number 29, Todd King.
Le lanceur, numéro 13.
And the starting pitcher, number 13, Jody Henniger.
Mesdames et messieurs, l'équipe du Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team Canada.
Nous vous prions maintenant, mesdames et messieurs, de s'il vous plaît vous mettre debout pour l'hymne national des États-Unis et du Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please stand for the national anthems of USA and Canada.
match de ce soir.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your umpires for this afternoon's game.
Au marbre,
The home plate umpire from the Dominican Republic, Augustine Bray.
au premier but,
The first base umpire from the Bahamas, Arthur Thompson.
au deuxième but,
The second base umpire from Cuba, Cesar Perez.
au troisième but,
The third base umpire from the Netherlands Antilles, Kenneth Boss.
en ligne avec le troisième but,
The left field line umpire from Canada, Earl Rice.
en ligne avec le premier but,
The right field line umpire from Canada, Chris Lee.
At the Forks in downtown Winnipeg, before we get you to the men's softball story, let's update the medal standings as they sit at this very moment. Canada with 166, including 54 gold medals. That is a record gold medal haul for Team Canada at a Pan Am game, and they're inching closer to their overall record, which is 177, set 4 years ago, back in 1995 in Mar del Plata. Well, men's softball is our feature game this afternoon on TSN, the gold medal game between Canada and the U.S. These two met yesterday on our station as they put on a classic. It was a 2-1 come-from-behind win for Canada. They will be in tough to beat them twice in 2 days, but it's a familiar matchup as we hear from Scott Russell and Lori Sipple.
It's Canada and the United States for the gold medal in men's softball, and Lori, it's like the great Yogi Berra once said, deja vu all over again.
That's correct. This will be the 6th time that the U.S. men's and the Canadian men's team will face off for a gold medal round. Canada's been victorious 5 times, but they know they have 7 complete innings they have to play in order to be victorious again.
Probable starting pitcher for Canada today is 38-year-old Darren Zak. He has a reputation as the best softball pitcher in the world today. What makes him so dominant from your perspective?
Darren is dominant because he's an intimidator. He has all the pitches. He can throw very hard, but he has some great off speed that he can come in and really mess up the batters with, and that's what makes him so successful. He's also the epitome of a team player. He's soft-spoken. He lets his actions in the circle speak for themselves.
It is advantage to Canada on the surface because the United States has to play 2 games today. Will that have an effect in terms of tiredness?
They may be tired going into the final round, but, you know, it's for the championship. They'll always dig deep, be able to find something to bring to the next game. For Canada, I know Terry Bader's telling them that the U.S. is going to be warmed up, so the veteran squad will be getting themselves warmed up on that bus trip to the final game.
Canada and the United States for the gold medal. Canada has won every Pan Am Games gold medal in softball for the men, beginning in 1979, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Softball fans are familiar with Darren Zak. If you've not seen the man pitch, you are in for a treat. In his 2 starts in the round robin, he struck out a total of 30 batters. Out of a total of 42 outs, 30 strikeouts for Darren Zak. It's going to be a treat, and we are going there next. When we come back, it's to the John Bloomberg Softball Center, the men's gold final, Canada, USA, next.
The 1999 Pan American Games, brought to you by Manitoba Hydro Power Smart, the power behind the games, and by Kodak. It's all you need to know about film.
It's easy to get through life with a shrug and just say, who cares? That showing a little compassion just shows you're out of date. But to all of you who really do care, that would rather break your heart than break your word, we'd just like you to know that in addition to steel and rubber, we put heart and soul into every car we make. Ford, for now, forever.
The different members of the Royal Bank Financial Group each bring a different strength to the table. And when I'm sitting across from a client and identify the goals and dreams that that client has, then I'm able to match that goal or dream to the member of the group.
Clientele need to deal with more financial resources under one roof.
One group for all your financial needs. Royal Bank Financial Group. One customer at a time.
1-0, 2 away, tying run at the plate. That one's jacked. Left field.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
this game in the bottom of the 11th inning.
And of course, they went on to win that game 7-6 in the bottom of the 11th. A magical game between Canada and the U.S. in baseball. Who knows if we're in for some magic today? I think we are, between Canada and the USA and men's softball as they duke it out for the gold. Let's get you to the park. Here is Scott Russell and longtime national team pitcher Laurie Sipple.
Thanks very much, Dave. And who better to talk about pitching than Laurie Sipple, as you pointed out. And what a change it's been for Canada, a dramatic change. We talked about the fact that we expected Darren Zach to be the pitcher for the Canadians today. He is, however, nursing an injury and therefore will not make the start. Instead, it will be Jody Henniger for Canada, 34, of Halifax, Nova Scotia, who has the ball for the Canadians. And Laurie, what's that mean?
Well, Jody's very experienced as well, and he did pitch earlier and had a 3-0 win against the U.S. in the qualifying round, and so he knows his team very well. I'm sure, though, if it comes down to a one-run ball game, we still may see Zach later in the game.
There's a look at the umpires in today's game between Canada and the United States. Behind home plate is Augustin Brea of the Dominican Republic. Canada and the United States go a long way back in Pan American Games softball. There's a look at Jody Henniger warming up. 2 wins in this tournament, and he hasn't allowed a run yet. A big pitcher, got all kinds of stuff in his repertoire. He can bring the ball from just about anywhere. In the background, you can hear a big crowd here at the John Blumberg Softball Complex, the west side of Winnipeg, anticipating this big match between Canada and the United States. The string started for Canada back in 1979, San Juan, Puerto Rico, the first of 5 consecutive gold medals. 1983, Caracas, Venezuela. 87, Indianapolis, Indiana. 91 was Havana, Cuba. 95, Mar del Plata, Argentina. And now on the verge of another gold medal here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, their home field advantage. Taking a look at the first batter for the United States. He can do some damage. Sean Rychik, batting .458, and he stung Canada's Todd Martin for a leadoff home run in the game yesterday, a game that Canada went on to win by the narrowest margins, 2-1. Jody Henniger gets the start. And we're underway. First pitch is a strike from Henniger.
Jody Henniger doesn't have near as many pitches in his repertoire. He throws a lot of drops, some change-ups, but as Doug Chase says, he throws with his heart.
Gets Rychuk to swing at that one, is well ahead in the count now, 0-2. Henniger bearing down now, trying to make the start very different for Canada today as compared to yesterday. Rychuk with that leadoff homer. Henniger played for Canada on the 95 Pan American Games gold medal team, also the 92 World Championship team. And gets the called third strike, so a big start for Jody Henniger of Halifax, Nova Scotia, as Sean Rychuk looks back and looks at a third strike.
Henniger sets this great third strike out by throwing 2 hard drops inside. Doug Chase sets up outside off the plate. Rychuk goes to the bench looking.
Second batter for the States, Stephen King, the center fielder. Americans are a very big hitting club. King, one of the lighter hitters on the team, averaging 200, but the team's average is way over 340. 1-1 now to Stephen King. Doug Chase behind the plate for Canada.
Henniger's throwing some heat today. You see a lot of movement on his drop ball. Not a bad choice. This is a heavy-hitting USA squad. Want to keep the ball down, keep them in the park.
Dennis Bruckert, the head coach of the Americans, stands at third base. Almost got away on Henniger, but Chase gets it down. Terry Bader is the head coach for Canada in softball. The head coaches will manage the game from third base when the team is batting.
Chase and Henniger really trying to stretch the zone here. Henniger is a drop ball pitcher, but as you can see, Doug Chase tries to stretch the zone, throwing some of those pitches up and out of the zone, comes back, tries to jam the batter.
Up and away, makes the count full to Stephen King. Henniger, originally from Halifax, lives in Palm Harbor, Florida, where he owns a restaurant and plays softball. And gets him to chase that one. So Jody Henniger gets the second out of the inning and his second strikeout.
Again, set up perfectly, really stretched the zone, goes back to Jody's best pitch, the drop ball. Probably took a little bit off of that, breaks away from the hitter, setting the tone for this Canadian team with his pitching right now.
It's acknowledged the Canadians have the best pitching in the tournament. There's Brian Marty, the designated hitter. Can't get fully around on that one. 0-1. 4 home runs for Marty. He hit one against Cuba this morning. And now the umpire is going out and, well, we're looking at an illegal pitch here.
Illegal pitch. I'm not sure what was called exactly. But it will become, the strike will now become a ball on the batter. If there are runners on, the runners would automatically advance one base.
Now, Lori, what constitutes an illegal pitch in softball?
Well, there's several different things that could happen, but typically in the men, they're so powerful, they sometimes leap off of that mound a little bit. As you can see, Jody maybe left the ground a little bit there on that hop. The other one is they sometimes tend to move off the rubber, they have to have 2 feet on the rubber at all times.
So it becomes a ball to Brian Marty. A legal pitch called on Jody Henniger. Chopper down to the second baseman, on to first base, and Bobrovsky takes it, so Canada is out of the inning. 1, 2, 3. After half an inning, nothing across for the United States.
Everywhere you look, everywhere you roam, so much to see and do, and it feels so right at home. Your legs so deep, your river long, make no mistake, you can do no wrong. You shine on it everywhere, Manitoba, it's all ours to embrace.
Raw is war, where the line between good and bad are crossed and double-crossed. WWF, Raw is War, Monday on TSN.
Beautiful day at the John Blumberg Softball Complex on the west side of Winnipeg. Scott Russell along with Lori Sipple. Midway through the first inning, 0-0 between Canada and the United States. The Canadians are coming to bat here in the bottom of the first. A little cooler out here today, a bit of a wind. There's a look at the United States as they warm up. Doug Middleton is the pitcher for the United States today. We had anticipated seeing Michael White, the native New Zealander, who gave the Canadians fits, but Middleton gets the ball for the Americans today. There's a look at his record. 2 wins, no losses, ERA of .64 in the 2 games he played. And he had 29 strikeouts. So the American pitching, as is the case with the Canadians, they can bring all kinds to the repertoire, and they have the ability to put you away. Americans through the course of the tournament scored an inordinate number of runs, 50 to be specific. They only allowed 5, and in beating Cuba to get to this gold medal game, the Americans won 10-0. Here's Brian Patton to lead it off for Canada, 40 from Woodstock, Ontario, the most experienced of the Canadian players, and away we go for Canada, bottom of the first. Trying to punch the ball on the first pitch, and Middleton gets a strike.
Patton trying to feed off of that top of the first inning showcase by Henniger. Trying to continue by setting the tone offensively now, getting on base so they can create a run.
Brian Patton has 3 Pan American Games gold medals in his back pocket, looking for a 4th. And slaps this one to straightaway center. So Brian Patton is aboard for Canada, and that's trouble for the United States because Patton has the green light whenever he's on base.
Patton very patient, stays in well over the plate, drives the ball where it's pitched, straight up the middle.
Canada waited until the 6th inning to get something going in the game yesterday against the Americans. Today they get it going early with the leadoff hitter. There's another look at Patton's single up the middle. Paul Rosebush now chops it down the first base side. He's gone, but moves Brian Patton, the rabbit, over. So Canada with a runner in scoring position.
Paul Rosebush very quick from the left side. He's opted to just put the ball in play and try to beat it out. It could go down as a sacrifice as he got his teammate into scoring position. Job well done.
Talked about this man yesterday. Set him up for you again. 28-year-old Colin Abbott of Portugal Cove, Newfoundland. He's the big hitter for Canada. They call him the Mark McGuire of Fastpitch. 230 pounds and a big bat. Looks at a strike from Doug Middleton. Abbott scored the 2nd run for Canada yesterday. The winning run came steaming around 3rd, and Tim Wall, the American catcher, couldn't corral it. Abbott scored.
Abbott's going to probably look at a few pitches here as somebody in scoring position looking for a pitch he can drive. Showing great patience there. Probably a pitch he wanted, but knows that's not something he can bring his teammate in home.
Evens the count up at 1. Here's the delivery from Middleton. And again, it's low and away. Canadians looking to get the jump early. Abbott is a financial advisor looking down to 3rd base there, and his coach Terry Bader to get the signal. Canadians will run through a series of 19 signals throughout the course of the game. Swings at this one, can't get it. Big cut by Colin Abbott. Evens the count at 2.
Middleton working the lower part of the zone again is very respectful of Colin Abbott's ability with the bat.
Umpire calls time. Abbott steps back in. Keeping it low and away from the big man for Canada is Doug Middleton. An early game battle between the American pitcher and the Canadian slugger Colin Abbott. And this one's driven way back, and Colin Abbott, home run. A 2-run shot as Canada jumps out to the early lead against Doug Middleton in the United States. The Mark McGuire of Fastpitch in Men's Journal in May. He delivers here in Winnipeg. Well, Laurie, you could sense that coming. Abbott just stood in there, battled against Middleton, and here it goes.
Colin works himself to a 3-2 count, a full count, knows he's going to get something pretty good here. Well, the pitcher probably gives up something just a little too meaty for an excellent hitter in Colin Abbott.
The fences here at John Blumberg are 240 for the men. That one sailed well beyond that. Colin Abbott, a 2-run shot for Canada as they jump to the early lead. Hitting in the 4th spot, Steve Price, the designated hitter for Canada, grounds out to the first baseman of the United States. And now there are 2 away for the Canadians here in the bottom of the 1st, but they have the 2-0 lead courtesy of Colin Abbott. Oh, and this goes a long way.
Sure does. He got well extended on that ball, read it very, very well. Let the bat speak for itself.
Saying hi to the folks back in Portugal Cove, Newfoundland. Doug Chase now the catcher for Canada.
Doug was the hero of last night's game. Just trying to keep this rally going, make sure that the hitting streak stays contagious, try to get another run across the board this first inning.
Yeah, a 2-run single in the 6th inning for Doug Chase. Provided the margin of victory for Canada. Brought home Paul Rosebush and subsequently Colin Abbott. Down low to make it 3-0. Doug Chase is a veteran of this team, 37 years old, from Port Alberni, British Columbia. He teaches there. Been on the national team since 1989. Really the backbone of the team. Looks at a strike, make the count 3-1.
Great hitters count here. Doug showing great patience. Middleton working himself in, behind in the count most of the batters this time.
Middleton finds the outside corner. Full count now against Doug Chase. Here's another look.
A little off speed on that particular pitch, knowing he has to bring it on board so he doesn't give him a free base, takes a little speed off.
And Doug Chase works Middleton for a walk, so the Canadians have another base runner. You know, Canada doesn't score a lot of runs. Through the course of the tournament, their 6 games, they only scored 24 compared to the Americans' 50. But the big thing with Canada is they don't allow much. Only 2 runs over the course of those first 6 games, and then they only allowed a 1 run against the Americans in winning yesterday. Dennis Bruckert out now to talk to his pitcher, Doug Middleton. But it's got to be a good sign, Laurie, that Canada's building something early.
That's correct, especially in the gold medal game. You know, you want to set the tone for your game. You want to give your pitchers some runs so that they can stay relaxed and pitch their game, be aggressive in the circle. Jody Henniger, I don't know if he can be much more aggressive than he was, but it sure is nice to pitch with the lead.
Here's the big first baseman for Canada, Kevin Bobrovsky of Victoria, British Columbia. Looks at a strike from Middleton.
Middleton trying to relax, get into a rhythm, get ahead of the counts, see if he can get the one last out for the U.S. team.
Well, Doug Middleton's throwing a lot of pitches here in the first inning against the Canadian lineup. And Todd Martin, the Canadian pitcher, struggled yesterday. Survived only 2/3 of the way through the first inning, gave up that first inning homer to Sean Rychik. Swing and a miss by Kevin Bobrovsky. This is his first international experience. He's only 28 years old.
Kevin's had some solid bats during this tournament. He had an excellent at bat in one of the games earlier with the U.S. Hit a home run. Big hit for Team Canada.
This one is chased down by the shortstop. A nice stab by David Boyes and shuffles the ball over. But Canada has a big inning on the bat of Colin Abbott, a 2-run homer as they lead by 2 over the U.S.
The 1999 Pan American Games, brought to you by Ford, for now, forever, and by Royal Bank Financial Group, official sponsor of the 1999 Pan American Games.
These are great. I can't believe they actually came out.
Yeah, they could have been a real disaster.
Our honeymoon. It rained. It was romantic. It rained. It was exotic. It rained. Come on.
With Kodak Max, you'll never miss a moment. It's the film that captures action in rain or shine.
We had some sun.
Yeah, the day we left. Sunlight, low light, action, or still. Kodak Max. It's all you need to know about film.
Is there anything else? An only real thing to do? Anything else I need except cold and you? No, there's nothing else that'll do besides Coca-Cola. There's only you. Hey, come on, give me a Coke, baby. Give me some of that real thing. Come on.
Beautiful overhead shot of the diamond in West Winnipeg. The Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company is known for its world-class tires and world-famous blimps. Hovering above is the Goodyear blimp Spirit of Akron, which has come all the way from its home in Ohio to give us an aerial view of Winnipeg and the 13th Pan American Games. The boys from Akron taking in a game between the Americans and the Canadians. Canada has a 2-0 lead after an inning of play. Jody Henniger, pitching for the Canadians, was aggressive and solid, getting the Americans 1-2-3 at inning number 1. Now facing Barry Kaler, the right fielder for the Americans. Kaler, a solid hitter for the U.S., all kinds of power. Drives this one to the third baseman of Canada. That's Todd King, gets it over to Kevin Bobrovsky, 1 out in the second for Canada against the United States.
First out is such a key after coming off a scoring inning. Henniger keeps the ball down, lets the hitters hit it to the ground, lets his defense take care of the out.
Like the way Doug Chase, the catcher, put it with regard to Jody Henniger. You mentioned it. He pitches with his heart. He's going to keep the ball down, get you a lot of ground ball outs.
Henniger's actually firing ball a little bit better than I even saw earlier. He has lots of great movement on that drop ball. Going to keep the ball in the park, let his defense take care of the plays.
Tim Wall, the catcher, moves up a spot in the order. He'll switch with Anthony Farinacci, the third baseman, who will be next. Again down the third baseline. King gets it over, but that one's foul. Count 1-2.
Once again, the drop ball inside. The hitters not patient enough, really pulling that ball to the third baseman.
Struck him out. Tim Wall thought it was inside, but Henniger busted him right in on the bat. Wall's not happy with that. Have another look at this pitch.
See, coming from the left side with Henniger, that pitch also curves in on the batter. He probably thought it was off the plate, and it curves back in and actually jams him.
Here's Anthony Farinacci, third baseman for the United States. .500 hitter. Down low below the knees.
Henniger jamming the hitters, setting them up for an outside pitch. Well, if it's working, don't change it, I suppose.
Henniger's moving right along. Jody Henniger got the win against the United States in preliminary round play. That was a 3-0 5-hitter by Henniger. Americans down early. And he's got Farinacci on the ropes. Steps back from the rubber. Two gone here in the second for the U.S.
Farinacci chops it foul.
Doug
Doug Chase doing a nice job of using the other person involved in this battery, and that's the umpire. Trying to figure out what the umpire is going to call and then use Henniger's strengths along with the umpire's calling.
1-2 to Farinacci of the U.S. Drives it foul again down the first baseline. Count remains 1-2.
Batter finally getting around on that inside pitch, setting him up maybe for that outside pitch now. He's having to really turn on that pitch, throw to the outside. We may get a swing and a miss.
Doug Chase, the veteran catcher now, comes out to talk it over with Jody Henniger. That's West and East meeting. Henniger from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Doug Chase from Port Alberni, British Columbia. The players on the Canadian team drawn from all over the country. Softball hotbeds in the west of Vancouver, Victoria, and in the east as well. Newfoundland and Nova Scotia are represented on this Canadian team. Henniger's got a real battle going with Anthony Farinacci, showing some patience here at the plate, battling back after being down in the count.
Just missing on the outside, really stretching that zone. Got a battle on his hands for Farinacci.
Another foul back. Full count. 2 are gone here in the second inning for the United States. Henniger now throwing a few more pitches after sailing through the first 5 hitters. There it is, another strikeout for Jody Henniger as he gets Anthony Farinacci of the United States looking. It remains 2-0 for the Canadians over the Americans in men's softball.
So, Dad, what do you think about mass customization?
I'm eating breakfast, Angela.
Ah, yes, business school meets the school. I've been there, done that.
Dad, my bank does it. If we could integrate all our customer data, we could communicate better with our customers one-to-one. Give them knowledge they can use.
Who's going to help manage and produce this?
Xerox.
Xerox? Since when?
Daddy, you need to get out more often.
Oh, boy. Keep the conversation going. Share the knowledge. The digital document company, Xerox.
We'll have more CASCAR, F1 kart, and NASCAR highlights after the break. Come on, guys. Let's go.
Okay, Jim. Nice and cool. Nice and cool. Okay, a quarter turn on your shirt collar. Nice and easy.
Come on, guys. We're running out of time.
Reset your monitor. Hold it. Hold it. Watch your speed, Jim. Go, 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 go!
Welcome back to the show, everybody. What a great day it was for Canadian race fans. We've got highlights from the Canadian.
And we will get you back to that softball game in just a moment, but there's another gold medal performance from Canada to tell you about. Another gold in the synchronized swimming event. Yesterday it was the duet team. Today it's the team event made up of Leslie Wright, Claire Carver-Diaz, Jessica Chase, Valerie Houle-Marchand, Fanny Letourneau, Kristen Normand, Jacinthe Talion, and Redon Tatham. The Canadian women's synchro team striking gold in the Pan Am pool, so they sweep both events in synchronized swimming with yesterday's duet gold, and you can put another gold medal on the board. Canada hoping to add to that total in men's softball. Here again is Scott and Lori.
Thanks very much, Dave. We move to the bottom of the second inning now. Canada has a 2-0 lead over the United States. You're looking at Doug Middleton, the American pitcher, who gave up a 2-run shot to Abbott of Canada in the first inning. Adam Smith is the man at the plate, the second baseman for Canada. Looks at a ball to even the count at 1-1.
Adam struggled at the plate this tournament, but defensively he's probably one of the best in the world at second base, and he's blessed us with some great plays this tournament.
Count now 2-1 as Middleton throws one into the dirt. Adam Smith, 34 years old, from Hagersville, Ontario. Swing and a miss. He's a dairy farmer in Hagersville. Part of a great 1-2 combination along with shortstop Chris Jones of Canada. They play for the Oshawa Gators, their club team. it up the middle and finds some daylight. So Adam Smith of Canada is aboard with a leadoff single here in the second.
Adam Smith gets on top of that ball, drives it into the ground. With his speed, he's able to get to first quite easily. Once he gets through the infield, checking second, seeing if he can advance.
Now batting for Team Canada, the shortstop.
Terry Bader, the Canadian head coach, likes to manufacture runs. Gives his base runners the green light. Chris Jones, the shortstop, up there now. Takes the first strike. There's Terry Bader.
Terry may opt to play some basic ball. They have 2 runs, but they're not going to take this game for granted. The 3rd run would be critical. May get Jones to move his partner over to scoring position.
And there it is. Tim Wall can't handle it cleanly. He does get Jones at first base, but Adam Smith moves over with 1 gone. So as you say, Laurie, basic ball by the Canadians. Move the runner over, get something going, somebody in scoring position. Nice bunt, lays it down just in front of the plate. Tim Wall can't corral it. On to first, gets Jones, but Smith moves across.
Nice job by Jones. With the speed, you know, he could be selfish and try to get a base hit out of that. But he doesn't. He stays over the plate, makes sure the ball is down so he can advance his teammate, and then almost gets safe anyways when the catcher bobbles the ball.
Down to the number 9 hitter in the Canadian lineup now, Todd King, the 3rd baseman from Grand Lake, Nova Scotia. And slaps at it to the 2nd baseman, and he moves over Adam Smith, the 3rd base. 2 are gone. Trying to get it through the infield there, but it didn't quite work for Todd King. Smith grabbing the back of his right leg there. A little bit of stiffness.
Now batting for Team Canada, the center fielder, number 21, Brian Patton.
I'm sure he'll find a way to score here if there's a pass ball or a wild pitch. There's several ways to score from 3rd here, and he's going to make sure that he's ready to go in case there is a pass ball, wild pitch, and of course on any hit.
Veteran Brian Patton steps up to the plate. 2 gone for Canada here in the 2nd, and Patton swings away. Down low. At 40 years of age, Patton's the oldest player on the team. Here's another look at Smith moving over and just pulls up there. Looks like he's got a bit of a cramp or something in that leg.
Both pitchers wearing out the inside part of the zone on these hitters. Umpires giving them that call, trying to make sure that these hitters can try to get around on them.
Doug Middleton now needs 1 more strike against Brian Patton to get himself out of a bit of a jam here in the 2nd inning. Umpire calls time.
With Patton's speed, you know, he could still advance or he could still be safe in an infield hit, which would give Canada another run.
Down low, checks his swing. Evens the count at 2. Tim Wall did a nice job to pick that one out of the dirt, with the speedster Adam Smith standing at 3rd for Canada. Down low again, and it's a full count now to Brian Patton, the speedster of Canada. Crowd trying to get the Canadians going here, want them to add to that run total. And it's a walk to Brian Patton. Canadians have another base runner aboard.
Patton will have the green light to go on this particular play. You have 2 rabbits on the corners here. You might see a little razzle-dazzle. Paul Rosebush also has great speed. I look for Terry Bader to put something on here, see if they can manufacture a run.
Rosebush, the future of the Canadian team, 24 years old. And he also has great speed. Trying to play the short game. He's a horticulture student, Paul Rosebush is, at the University of Guelph. Also played varsity hockey there.
Came into this tournament in awe of some of his teammates, but I think they've made him feel very welcome. Obviously, hitting second, playing strong outfield for the Canadian team.
This one is way up, and the catcher, Tim Wall, has it. So the Americans are out of this inning without any further damage from the Canadians. It's still 2-0 at the softball complex.
Found $5,000.
The Locker Search event at Grandin Toy. You can win a chance at 2 $5,000 cash prizes or your very own locker full of cool stuff like a ClearNet phone. It's back to school with the Locker Search event only at Grandin Toy.
Bases loaded, 2 out. Bottom of the ninth, the winning run at third base. Here comes...
The Jays try to stir things up in Texas. Jays, Rangers, TSN tonight.
Third inning of play coming up here at the John Blumberg Softball Complex in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Gold medal game between Canada and the United States. The Canadians have won 5 consecutive Pan Am Games gold medals in men's softball. There's a look at the last out of the 7th inning. Tim Wall tracks down a high foul pop-up by Paul Rosebush of Canada, and that gets Doug Middleton, the pitcher, out of an inning where the Canadians had threatened. There's the line. Canada has 3 hits, the United States none, and the Canadians had a 2-run home run from Colin Abbott to make the difference here. Jody Henniger is the pitcher for Canada, 34 years old, and there's the first pitch that Henniger throws here in the 3rd inning.
Henniger's on a real nice roll, getting ahead early in the count. The batters know that he has good movement. He's able to get a check swing on the U.S. hitter.
Just outside. 1-1 now to Chris Dellerwell, left fielder. Big hitter, has all kinds of power. Hit a home run earlier today against the Cubans to get the United States here. And this one's driven right up the middle. So Chris Dellerwell on base for the United States, and the Americans have their first hit of the ball game off Jody Henniger.
Drop ball hung just a little bit, may have been an off-speed pitch, hung over the plate. Delwell takes care of that.
The shortstop, number 8, David Boyd.
So Chris Dellerwell stands at first base for the United States. Shortstop now at the plate, Dave Boys. Squares around the bunt. Takes it high. Dennis Bruckert at the signals down at 3rd base for the United States. Americans very capable of getting back in this ball game. Power everywhere in the lineup. Fouled by Boys down the first base line.
Americans going to try to start this thing off slowly, not going to be too greedy. Get somebody in scoring position, work themselves back, 1 run at a time.
Too used to that silver medal position are the Americans. Now there's the bunt from Boys. He's gone at first as the pitcher Henniger handles it. But moving down to second base is Chris Dellerwell. So So the U.S. has a runner in scoring position.
Now batting for Team USA, the second baseman, number 11, Aaron.
Excuse me, Kevin Bobrovsky came in from first base to handle that ball. Adam Smith, the second baseman, covered to get the out. Aaron Earlywine, the light-hitting second baseman, is the number 9 hitter for the United States.
Canada really wanting to stop this rally, one-hit rally right now, to get the number 9 hitter out before they get to the top of the order.
Strike to Earlywine. He can come from both sides of the plate. Switch hitting second baseman. Outside.
Jody showing some nice pinpoint control here, really working the black of the plate, not making too many mistakes over the white of the plate, staying on the black, trying to give the ball to the defense.
Again outside. Americans won 10-0 in 5 innings over Cuba earlier today. The mercy rule was invoked there. U.S. just pounded the ball out of the park. This one is driven to left field and coming around. Nope, they hold him up. So the Americans have runners on the corners. Chris Delawell at third base. Aaron Earlywine with a sharp single to left stands at first. Now a little bit of trouble for Jody Henniger.
Now batting for Team USA.
I have to give Earlywine some credit here. He had good patience on the outside. When he saw them come back inside, pitch that he could hit, he drove it to the left side.
Left fielder for Canada, Paul Rosebush, gets the ball in quickly. And Delawell, who is not a speedster by any margin, held up at third base by Dennis Bruckert. Now Terry Bader goes out to the mound with his catcher, Doug Chase, to talk to Jody Henniger. Henniger is a gutsy competitor. Won the preliminary round game against the United States on a 5-hitter. As you take another look at that single by Aaron Earlywine. Good throw by Paul Rosebush. Holds the runner. Henniger battles. Gets you ground balls. But he's in a bit of a jam now with a big man up, Sean Rychik.
Henniger wanted to keep the ball low on Rychik. He has great power, as we've seen earlier in this tournament. Runners in scoring position. Want to make sure we don't give him too much to hit.
And Rychik tried to check his swing, but went around 0-1. Chop up the middle and by the shortstop. That'll score a run for the United States as Chris Delawell comes across. It's now 2-1 for Canada over the Americans. 1 out. So Rychik gets the job done.
Gets the job done. Obviously not a real strong hit, but it does the job. With the drop ball coming from Henniger, you pound it into dirt. Sometimes those ones will sneak through.
Delawell across. Chris Jones reached up, couldn't get the ball at short. 1 out for the United States, and now it's a 1-run ball game. Stephen King is the batter, the center fielder. Struck out in the first inning. Down to the second baseman, Adam Smith, and just gets it on to first to Kevin Bobrovsky. There's Aaron Earlywine.
Smith makes a nice choice here defensively. He's wanting to help his pitcher out, maybe go for the double play. But as he comes for the ball, he gets inside of the line. He may hit the runner, and cause a rally for the U.S. He makes a good decision, opts to get it out, keep the Canada in this ball game.
Two are out now for the Americans. Runners at third and second. Aaron Earlywine at third base. Sean Rychik at second. And this is the designated hitter, Brian Marty. Ball moved outside for Jody Henniger, the left-hander. 1-0 to Brian Marty. It's going to be a battle. Not much difference between these two clubs. Swing and a miss evens the count at 1. Terry Bader, the Canadian head coach, likened it to a championship fight. 3 rounds. The Canadians have won the first 2 rounds, narrowly, however. And now round 3. Can they deliver the knockout?
Henniger working on jamming the hitter at this point, trying to keep the ball in the infield so the defense can get an out at any base at this point.
Fouled off by Brian Marty to even the count at 2. 2 away for the U.S. in the top of the 3rd inning.
2-2 count, 2 out, runners in scoring position. This is where that heart of Henniger needs to come through.
Henniger comes set. Nice pitch to get from Marty. A strikeout swinging. So the Canadians get out of it. Only 1 run damage. It's now a 2-1 ball game. Canada over the United States.
I love to sing with spray on my face. I'm a jazz bug now. I got no hair dryers, radios, or curling irons in here with me. Hey there. Now you know you never touch anything electrical when you're wet, right?
I do that.
Smart kid. I'm back in the shower and there is no doubt. I always keep electrical things out.
It's great having Matt Dunnigan as part of our CFL broadcast team and reuniting him with his old blocking buddy, Chris Schultz. They have a special kind of working relationship.
Oh, no. Easy with that stuff now. He's taking some wicked shots to the head, okay? That's too soft. That's too hard. Oh, whoa. Matt, this one won't hurt your arm at all.
Hey, Matt, it's good to see you.
Hey,
Jim, how's it going?
Back off, Jack.
Oh, it's Jim. My shoulder.
Whatever.
My shoulder. Oh.
It's all about chemistry.
Big win for the Blue Jays last night in Texas. They won 5-4. Carlos Delgado hit 3 home runs. They are on TSN again tonight. Labatt Blue Jays baseball, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. We've got a good one going here for a gold medal between Canada and the U.S. Here again is Scott and Laurie.
Thanks very much, Dave. There's the John Blumberg softball complex here in Winnipeg. The line score after 2.5 innings of play. It's now 2-1 for Canada over the United States. Americans got a run in the 3rd. They now have 3 hits on Jody Henniger. There's Paul Rosebush, the left fielder, who stands in against Doug Middleton. Rosebush, 24 years old. Takes it down at the knees. Middleton so far has struggled in each inning he's faced the Canadians, 1st and 2nd. Got burned in the 1st inning on a long ball by Colin Abbott. 2-run home run.
Middleton's starting to mix it up a little bit. We've seen a few more rise balls out of him as of late, typically staying down in the lower part of the zone.
Little hard-nosed short baseball by Canada there. Paul Rosebush has all kinds of speed. Chopped it over to the second base side. Aaron Earlywine made the play. And Rosebush went in there hard to first base. Almost made it. Terry Bader told us that soon Rosebush will have the green light whenever he wants it. when he's on base. There is Colin Abbott, the next batter, and here is a look at a full count in the first inning of play, and Abbott drives it way over the center field fence, way past 240 feet. That's the margin, the difference here for Canada today. A 2-run shot in the first inning by Colin Abbott. And now Middleton will want to stay away from him.
Colin probably thinking that's the one that got away right there. Is up in the zone, maybe a little inside, but certainly something that was hittable.
Moves back just a touch, but takes a strike. 1-1 to the big hitter for Canada. Down and away. Abbott from Portugal Cove, Newfoundland, just outside St. John's. The Canadian team does not spend a lot of time together, as do the Cubans, perhaps the Americans. Canadians drawn from all over the country and assemble just a few days prior to a tournament like the Pan American Games. And, you know, the men, well, they're not an Olympic sport. And so they struggle with a bit of a recognition factor, but they are a dominant softball club throughout the world. Colin Abbott works Doug Middleton for a walk here, a 1-out walk. The Canadians have a base runner aboard.
Colin Abbott showing some great patience. You know, a big hitter, he wants to go up there and hit, especially following a home run, but he's showing great patience for the team and finding a way to get into first base. Now leaving it to Steve Price, see if he can move him around.
Designator hitter Steve Price of Kingston, Ontario.
A lot of left-handed hitters here for Team Canada. I think there's only 2 right-handed hitters in their lineup this year. It's not real typical for those people that are watching the game to have that many lefties, but obviously Canada has some great left-handed hitters, but Terry Bader has them on his team.
Another look there at the check swing, and they call it a strike on Steve Price, and there's a clear-cut strike delivered from Doug Middleton as Price swings away, now down on the count 0-2. Down in the dirt. Abbott, though, the big man, not known for his speed, gets back to the bag. Now in softball, you're not allowed to leave the bag if you're a base runner until the pitch is delivered.
That's correct.
And so there are no huge leadoffs in this game, so you might not expect Abbott to be down the base path and to be able to get there on a bobbled ball. Strike 3 to Steve Price as Doug Middleton comes with a nice heater to get the designated hitter for Canada. 2 are away for the Canadians here in this inning.
Middleton, it looks like a high drop that he delivers there. Price may have thought it was a rise ball going to rise out of the zone, freezes on it, comes back into the zone for a called third strike.
Then catcher Doug Chase now for Canada. Two gone in the third inning. Swinging away on the first pitch. 0-1. Well, Middleton has battled back here.
Chewing his gum a little more freely. Perhaps he's relaxed a little bit more now that his teammates have scored another run, made it a 1-run deficit here.
He has, however, had base runners in each of the 3 innings. Time called by the umpire.
Once you have a lead like this, it's important that you try to win every inning, and certainly each half of the inning, so that you stay focused on the now, not the future or the past, but on the now.
There's a ball that gets away from Tim Wall, the catcher, and that'll get Colin Abbott down to second base in scoring position with 2 away.
We spoke of deja vu earlier in the show here, and this is exactly what set up a score yesterday for Team Canada. Doug Chase up to bat, pass ball, gets Colin into scoring position.
Doug Chase was the hero of that game yesterday, delivered the single in the 6th inning. It scored 2 runs, and one of them, the winning run, was Colin Abbott. Pitcher yesterday for the United States was Michael White. Today it's Doug Middleton. 1-1 to Doug Chase.
Doug Chase taking some great hacks up at the plate. Got a runner in scoring position, going to do all he can to get a good solid cut. Make sure if he's going to go down, he goes down swinging. He doesn't want to waste any of his at-bat.
2 Pan American Games gold medals for Doug Chase in 91 and 95. Also a member of the World Championship team in 92. That World Championship for Canada won in the Philippines.
Catcher goes through a sequence of pitches here so that Colin Abbott on second doesn't give the pitch away to his teammate, Doug Chase.
Doug Chase, of course, the catcher for the Canadian side. He'll wait this out, play a little cat and mouse with Doug Middleton. Sails away, evens the count. A little bit of a battle going on between Chase and Middleton, with the Canadian threat, Colin Abbott, standing at second.
2-2 count. Chase really battling here. Having a good at bat, Terry Bader may opt to go with a hit and run in this count, knowing that Middleton has to come in with a strike. Get Colin Abbott moving.
Chase singles into right center, brings around Colin Abbott to score. So Abbott's been in on all the scoring now. 3-1 for Canada. Laurie, you talked about the fact that that pass ball is going to come back to haunt the United States as it did yesterday. Canada up by 2 now.
Great battle by Doug Chase again. He had a great at bat. No wasted pitches get by him. Anything that's close, he's taking a hack. This time it's a little too close. Middleton has to come in with a good pitch. Doesn't want to go full count. 2-2 pitch. Doug Chase drives it to the right side. Scoring teammate Colin Abbott.
Not a lot of speed on the part of Abbott, but he doesn't need it here as Doug Chase drives it into right center to bring him home. So Doug Chase has been instrumental in both these games that we've seen against the United States. Provided the margin of victory in the 6th inning yesterday and puts Canada ahead by 2 here today in the gold medal match against the U.S.
Walks can haunt a pitcher, and once again, Colin Abbott gets a free base, and it hurts the Team USA as he comes in to score, making the margin 2.
Had a great talk with Doug Chase a couple of days ago, you and I. Very experienced ball player. Gave us the lowdown on all of the Canadian pitchers. Chris Bigelow is the pitcher now warming up for the Americans in the bullpen. It's also Michael White there throwing the ball, the native New Zealander. Doug Chase was just so excited for the Canadian team. He's been around a long time, since 1989. And excited about another shot at a gold medal. Kevin Bobrovsky is the batter for Canada now with 2 out.
Great play by the catcher, keeping the ball in front so that Canadian runner does not get into scoring position.
Tim Walz had his hands full today with Doug Middleton. Quite a few balls in the dirt that Walz had to dig out, and he hasn't been successful in every case. There's a strike. Big strike zone for Kevin Bobrovsky, large man from Victoria, BC.
Nice pitch. I'm not so sure Kevin isn't worried that maybe that was the one that got away.
2-1. Swings away to even the count at 2-2. Pan American Games qualifying, Kevin Bobrovsky was the all-star first baseman, 28 years of age, really making his international debut here at the Pan American Games. Down low again.
3-2 count. Doug Chase will be going on this pitch. Looking in, making sure he doesn't get hit by a ball that Kevin will put in play.
Gets him looking. So Kevin Bobrovsky looks at a third strike, and Doug Middleton gets out of this inning, but not before giving up another run for Canada.
The 1999 Pan American Games, brought to you by IBM, e-business solutions for success on the net, and by Investors Group.
Welcome back to the TSN Newsroom. James Duffy here. Do not forget Sports Desk coming up at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Here are some of the reasons why you should be watching us at that hour. Lori Kane, 2 shots back at this week's stop on the LPGA Tour. A third round 71 has her 9 under. She's 2 back of Sherry Steinhauer. Lawrence Taylor, one of 5 men inducted into Pro Football's Hall of Fame today. He's one of only 2 defensive players ever to win NFL MVP and is arguably the best defensive player ever. Sammy Sosa, now 1 for 15 since he hit his 42nd home run Wednesday. He went 0 for 3 as Houston routed the Cubs 10-4 today. And Calgary QB Henry Burris has a torn ACL. He's been placed on the 9-game injury list. The Stamps hope to have Dave Dickinson back for Friday's game in Regina. Also, according to a published report, Notre Dame University expecting major NCAA sanctions to its football program for violations that occurred under Lou Holtz's tenure. Back to the Pan Ams right after this.
These are great. I can't believe they actually came out.
Yeah, they could have been a real disaster.
Our honeymoon.
It rained.
It was romantic.
It rained.
It was exotic.
It rained. Come on.
With Kodak Max, you'll never miss a moment. It's the film that captures action in rain or shine.
We had some fun.
Yeah, the day we left.
Sunlight, low light, action, or still. Kodak Max. It's all you need to know about film.
3 innings are done here as you look at the Canadian women's softball team, who will play in the gold medal match against the United States. 3-1 for Canada here in the men's gold medal game. Jody Henniger, the pitcher, faces Barry Kaler, the right fielder. Big strike to Kaler. 1-1.
Henniger opting to keep the ball away from Kaler. Pretty big stick for the U.S. hitting number 4. Little off speed, misses wide.
Canadian women defeated Cuba earlier today to move to that gold medal game against the United States. Another big cut by Kaler as he chases one. Henniger has it 2-2. And the shortstop has got it for Canada. Chris Jones, 1 away here in the 4th inning of play for the U.S. It's going to be a long day for the Canadian women. They played early this morning, 10 o'clock, against the United States and lost 5-0. Then they went on to beat Cuba 2-0. That was their second shot at the gold medal game. They'll be there, and they must play the United States again tonight at 7. So a long road for the Canadian women. Canadian men can wrap up a gold medal here. They have a 2-run lead on the U.S.
Henniger doing a nice job of getting ahead of the hitters. If you do that, the hitters sometimes become a little defensive in their swings. Doug Chase holding the frame, hoping to get a call from the umpire. Doesn't work out this time.
Tim Wall, the catcher's been a busy guy today behind the plate, trying to keep Doug Middleton under control. Henniger delivers down low. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike to the catcher, Tim Wall.
The 3-1 pitch, wants to really work the black here. Hitter's looking for a pitch he can drive.
Drives it to the left side, but foul.
Come on, Johnny. Come on, Johnny. Get him up, Shawner. Come on, kid.
Works himself to a full count. Hitter's advantage, pitcher's advantage, about the same here. It comes down to the heart and who's ready. Maybe 1 level higher on this next pitch.
American dugout. Jody Henniger will bring it from 45 feet. It's the distance from the circle to home here in softball. Check swing and a foul ball. A good one can bring it about 70 to 75 miles an hour. Jody Henniger might not be that quick, but when you consider it's from 45 feet, there's a lot of jump coming to the plate. There's a single to straightaway center, and so the catcher, Tim Wall, is aboard for the United States.
Second time through the lineup, the hitters are starting to see Henniger a little pitches a lot more, and they're looking a little bigger to them. Henniger has a repertoire of only a couple pitches. Good hitters are able to sit back, knowing that it's going to be a drop ball or have drop spin, sit back, wait for a pitch, work deep in the count, get something good to hit.
Third baseman Anthony Farinacci, and he's a battler. Big swing, strike 1.
Henniger working well against the lefties, left-handed against left-handed hitter. He's able to slice that ball, let it curve away from the plate. Against Farinacci on that first pitch.
And on the second, down low and gets Farinacci to chase that. Now way ahead in the count, 0-2 with 1 away.
Runner at first, probably not going to go. Doug Chase is well known for his ability to throw runners out.
Gets him swinging. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Jody Henniger blows away Anthony Farinacci, the third baseman.
Big out, up in the zone, but a little bit off speed. Farinacci, fans on the pitch. Turnover drop right there, a little bit off speed, as I said. Farinacci ahead of the ball.
And gone here in the 4th inning. So now Jody Henniger, who has given up a single to Tim Wall, the catcher, has 2 away. A few words from Doug Chase. Jody Henniger, 34 years old, of Halifax, Nova Scotia. Not only a great pitcher, but also one of Canada's big hitters. Can play the DH role. Chris Dellerwell, the left fielder, is the hitter now for the United States. Looks at a strike. Big swing. High fly ball down the right field line. Chases Colin Abbott, but that one's in the stands. Canada with a 2-run lead here in the top of the 4th inning. 7-inning ball game in softball. Gold medal is on the line. Canada has won 5 consecutive gold medals at the Pan American Games.
Going down.
Nice catch. 0-2 count. Doesn't want to bring it onto the plate. Wants to make it look pretty tasty on the outside. See if he can get the batter to bite. The batter does not. Goes to a 1-2 count.
Chris Dellerwell. And really gives it a ride, and it's gone. Well, there you go, a 2-run shot. Chris Dellerwell of the United States. And all of a sudden, it's a 3-3 ball game. Tim Wall, the catcher, was aboard for the United States. And it's 3-3 in this heavyweight bout between the Americans and the Canadians at John Blumberg.
Henniger delivers the pitch, as you can see a little bit on the plate. Last few innings, he's been a little higher on that drop ball, a little more meaty. I have a feeling Terry Bader's looking to the bench, maybe going to get that bullpen going. Now that's a 0-0 ball game, or 3-3 ball game.
0 is the difference between these two teams. There's a high-angle shot. More than 240, 250 out there. Beyond Colin Abbott, Chris Dellerwell delivers. This one is down to the second baseman and on to first Kevin Bobrovsky. So Henniger is out of it, but not before the Americans get a 2-run shot and tie this ball game at 3.
Attention, folks. We need to lighten the flame. Any volunteers?
When I came to this country, I had only $2 in my pocket. But I worked very hard, saved my money, and now things are good. So today I'm giving you $2. $2? I want you to use it to make your family proud.
There you go.
Thank you. You're welcome.
20 Timbits, always fresh. The snack pack, $1.99. Only at Tim Hortons.
It's very good.
Wood, leather, adrenaline, the new Lincoln LS.
I always knew this day would come. I've been stretched in so many ways. But I've done all right. I've had a hand. And I've found my path. Now I'm helping my girl find hers.
We take the time to understand what really matters in your life. Investors Group.
We have a barn burner going between the United States and Canada. Bottom of the 4th inning in the men's gold medal softball game. Adam Smith is the batter. It's 3-3 U.S. and Canada. That following a 2-run shot by Chris Dellerwell, the left fielder of the Americans, in the top of the 4th inning. Colin Abbott had homered for Canada, a 2-run home run in the first. Adam Smith chops it down the first base line. It's 2-1. Well, Laurie, you knew it was going to be a battle between these two teams. They've seen enough of each other over the years.
They know each other real well, and so, you know, there's no surprises, really. It's just a matter of who's going to have the barrelhead in the right spot. Great hitting teams, great pitching in the circle. Barn burner is what we have.
Outside, 3-1 to Adam Smith, the dairy farmer from Hagersville, Ontario, facing the American pitcher Doug Middleton. swing and a miss, and Middleton gets a strikeout to lead off the 4th inning against Canada.
Adam Smith pulls off that outside pitch, maybe a little screwball here delivered by Middleton, carries it away from the hitter, along with Adam Smith pulling out a little bit of himself on the swing, makes for a strikeout. Adam Smith is on his way to the dugout.
Veteran pitcher Doug Middleton battled throughout this game, as has Jody Henniger on the Canadian side. Chris Jones, the shortstop here from Oshawa, 32 years old. Two strikes as Jones flails away.
Canada has to realize that they're still in this ball game. It's only an even ball game, tied at 3. Get their composure back, come back to what they know how to play, and that's great ball, consistent ball, have some composure at the plate, composure in the circle. That prize fight's down to 3 innings now.
1-2 with 1 away. Again in the dirt, we've seen plenty of that today. Tim Wall, the American catcher, has been running around behind the plate for Doug Middleton. Preliminary round play, Canada won 3-0 against the United States. Jody Henniger got the win. First of 2 confrontations in the medal round. Here's a chopper down to the shortstop. David Boyes on to first base, and Chris Jones is gone. In the first game of the medal competition, Canada won 2-1 yesterday, but it was a narrow victory as Doug Chase had a 2-run single in the 6th inning. For Canada, they left it until the 11th hour. So these teams are very closely matched. Number 9 hitter for Canada is the 3rd baseman, Todd King. Chartered accountant from Grand Lake, Nova Scotia. Ball 1 delivered by Doug Middleton.
King doing a little 2-step in the batter's box there, looking to put the ball in play, slap bunt or lay a bunt down, maybe even hit away. But that little 2-step tends to indicate he wants to play the short game, get himself on base.
Took a good cut at that. Fouled it straight back here.
Little rise ball delivered by Middleton. Todd King just misses underneath, fouls it straight back. His timing's on, looking to drive the ball here.
Come on now.
Todd's one of the younger members of the Canadian team at 29 years of age. Terry Bader, the head coach of Canada, told us that he likes to bring some newer players in at each major international competition. In this game, we're seeing Paul Rosebush, the left fielder, who's 24. Todd King's one of the younger members, although he was there for the 95 Pan Am Games gold medal in Mar del Plata. But this Canadian team constantly renewing itself. And that one's away from Tim Wall, the catcher. Two out here in the 4th inning for Canada. A tie ball game, 3-3. 7-inning game. Gold medal on the line. The Americans have never won. Always been the silver medalists. There's a strike to Todd King. Doug Middleton does the job. It's a 3-3 game, Canada and the United States.
If you got a problem, don't care what it is. If you need a hand, I can show you this. I can help. I got 2 strong arms. I can help. It would sure do me good help.
F-Series, Canada's best-selling line of trucks for 33 years. Ford, for now, forever.
Right now, what people lack the most is time. And the nice thing about coming into the Royal Bank Financial Group is that you're not getting bounced around. You're not saying, you know, well, I've got to go here for this and I've got to go there for that.
Could be loans, could be mortgages, could be investments, could be your estate. I can't meet every need myself. I can't, even if I want to, and I do. I can't, but with other members of the group helping me, you can access all of that information just walking through one door.
One group for all your financial needs. Royal Bank Financial Group. One customer at a time.
I'm making this up as I go along. Which way do I turn? I'm not really sure. But I've had some help. So I know we'll make it. One step at a time.
We take the time to understand what really matters in your life. Investors Group.
Oh, man. I think he went over.
Hey! Did it skip? No!
Top of the fifth inning in this battle between Canada and the United States gold medal match, and the Canadians have made a pitching change. So Mike Piechnik, 38 years old of Victoria, BC. Piechnik was outstanding yesterday for Canada against the U.S. He pitched 5 1/3 innings of 2-hit ball and really kept Canada in the game after they were down early. So Piechnik, the left-hander, gets the ball again, and he'll deliver to Aaron Earlywine. First pitch is a ball.
Piechnik brings a few more pitches into the repertoire for Doug Chase to work with. Great technical pitcher. He has all the pitches. You just saw the changeup there. Called for a strike. Drop ball, changeup, curve ball. He can throw at a lefty or away from a lefty and a rise ball. Really able to stretch the zone here.
Earlywine chops it to the second baseman, Adam Smith, who gets it on to Kevin Bobrovsky. One away for the Americans here in the fifth inning. Piechnik is off to the dugout here to check something out.
Probably going to get some rosin or something here. Ball may be a little slippery. Wants to get a good grip so he can put the spin on, make the ball dance.
There's the line on Jody Henniger. Out of the game now. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, struck out 6, and didn't walk anybody. As Doug Chase, the catcher, said, he pitches with his heart, and he gave it everything he had today. Gets Canada down to the 5th inning against the United States and hands the ball over to Mike Piechnik. Top of the order now, Sean Rychuk. Ball down low below the knees. Rychuk homered yesterday, leadoff hitter against Todd Martin. Chase sets him outside, but Rychuk doesn't bite.
Rychuk stands deep in the box and away from the plate, really trying to make sure that the meat of the bat gets on the ball. Steps into the plate, maybe even baiting the pitcher a little bit, throw outside so he can step into it.
Piechnik and Chase are very familiar to each other. There's a strike. Both the pitcher and the catcher are from British Columbia. Chase from Port Alberni, Piechnik from Victoria. Both are same age, Piechnik 38, Chase 37, and they've been through the wars together for Team Canada. Ball 3.
Nice curveball thrown there by Piechnik. Rychek doesn't bite. Makes the count go to 3-1. Hitter's pitch here. Pieknik going to try to paint the black on whatever pitch is thrown.
Strike 2. Rychek thought he was down to first base. Wow, he says.
Excellent shot here again from Pieknik. Drives the ball along the inside part of the plate.
Rychek swinging down to the shortstop. Chris Jones on to first base. 2 away for Mike Pieknik and the Canadians. Real battle by the Canadian pitcher to get the leadoff hitter, top of the order for the United States, Sean Rychek. Great shot photograph today of Mike Pieknik in the National Post newspaper as he delivered the ball. Outstanding power pitcher. Steve King, the batter, the center fielder for the U.S. 5th inning, 3-3 tie. Called strike. Busted him.
Really trying to stretch the zone here. First pitch was a curveball out. Doug Chase calls for the inside pitch to brush the batter back. Does just that. Count 1-1.
Moving the ball around the strike zone, in and out. Keeping it away this time from Steve King. Pieknik now down 2-1. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 2 with 2 away here in the 5th.
Doug Chase does a nice job there of really showing the target where exactly he wants that pitch to be delivered. Pieknik answers the call.
Comes set, delivers, and this one is struck deep, but caught by Paul Rosebush, the left fielder. So Pieknik does the job for Canada, still 3-3.
Pass the potatoes, please.
Where's the salad?
I'll get it.
Introducing premium alkaline batteries so affordable, you can even waste them. Truly batteries. At $2.77, they last just as long as the national brands at a way better price. Only at Zeller's.
Before any story makes it to Sports Desk, rest assured, our experts do their research.
Cylinders 3 and 7 are running lean, and I detect some detonation. Cylinders 3 and 7.
Okay, so the medial collateral ligament should be on the left.
Whoa!
No, his left.
Oh.
We make furniture. We want to get on the web so we can expand our business. How do you get on the internet?
If I could find an XK120 in mint condition, I could sell it like...
This is your lucky day.
Panasonic professional cameras have captured some of the most stunning images in sports. Now, you can have the same exceptional digital picture and sound in a camera that fits in the palm of your hand. The new Panasonic Digital Palm Quarter.
The Goodyear blimp, Spirit of Akron, is floating overhead, providing an aerial view of the 13th Pan American Games in the Winnipeg area. The Goodyear blimps cover hundreds of sports events each year and are one of America's most recognized corporate symbols. Spirit of Akron is taking in the ball game here at John Blumberg Softball Complex, a 3-3 tie between Canada and the United States. In this, the gold medal game, top of the Canadian order, Brian Patton, 1 for 1 with a single, the center fielder. Chopped to the shortstop, David Boyes, and he gets him. Brian Patton's got the speed, but David Boyes had the arm.
Brian Patton trying to get something going here with his great speed. You know, potential for him to be safe with that big bounce is good. Close play, bang, bang play at 1. Unfortunately, he's called out.
So Canadians have 1 out here in the 5th inning. Paul Rosebush, the 24-year-old left fielder, is next, 0 for 2 today. Strikes this one solidly. Under it, the center fielder right at the fence. Stephen King tracks it down for the United States. 2 are away. So quickly 2 gone for Doug Middleton. Another look at the catch here way back for Stephen King, just at about 235. Beautiful day here at the softball complex. Sun shining, a little cooler than it has been. Perfect softball weather. Colin Abbott, next batter for Canada with 2 away. Big 2-run homer in the 1st inning for the Canadians. Strike from Doug Middleton. Down and away. Or you have to be careful with this man.
Well, they have 2 out now, so it'd be nice to be able to sit back and just try to work on the 3rd. But when it's Colin Abbott, you have to be very focused and really put those pitches on a dime. Not going to give him anything good here. One swing of the bat could make this a winning run. No time to relax for Middleton.
Canadian dugout. Catcher Tim Wall tried to bring that one back, but couldn't get the strike out of the umpire for Doug Middleton. 2-1 now to the Canadian slugger Colin Abbott from Portugal Cove, Newfoundland. Again, down and away. 3-1.
3-1 count. Heavy hitter Colin Abbott. If it's even close, I'm sure you're going to get a good cut out of Colin at this time.
Here we go. Middleton sets, delivers. Down and away again, and so Colin Abbott will be aboard. Colin also scored the 3rd run for Canada today. He got on base on a pass ball. Terry Bader is the Canadian head coach. A few words of advice and strategy for the designated hitter, Steve Price. Deep into this battle between Canada and the United States, all tied at 3. The Canadian 5th inning. It is a 7-inning game.
Hitting in the 4 spot has not been too successful this particular game. Colin's been able to get on base. Steve hoping that this is the one time when he can move his teammate into scoring position.
Big swing by Price. Native of Kingston, Ontario, now lives in Clifton Park, New York. Makes his living at softball there as a full-time instructor and player. now 1-2. Checks it. But the umpire at third base says he went around. So Price strikes out, and Middleton, the U.S. pitcher, is out of the fifth. This is still a 3-3 ball game.
The 1999 Pan American Games, brought to you by Nortel Networks. How the world shares ideas.
Attention, folks. We need to land the plane. Any volunteers?
When I came to this country, I had only $2 in my pocket. But I worked very hard, saved my money, and now things are good. So today I'm giving you $2. $2? I want you to use it to make your family proud.
There you go. Thank you. You're welcome. 20 Timbits, always fresh. The snack pack, $1.99. Only at Tim Hortons.
It's very good.
Huh. Found $5,000.
The Locker Search event at Grand and Toy. You can win a chance at 2 $5,000 cash prizes or your very own locker full of cool stuff like a ClearNet phone. It's back to school with the Locker Search event only at Grand and Toy.
Back to softball here. Canada and the United States tied at 3. This is the American sixth inning. Mike Piechnik is the pitcher for Canada, facing the designated hitter, Big Brian Marty of the United States.
Piechnik has such a repertoire of pitches. It's really fun to call the games when he's pitching. They've got a curve, drop, change-up, rise ball. Lots of movement in that zone.
A little bit inside, but they'll call it a strike, and he's ahead in the count against Marty. 1-2.
Left-hander delivers the pitch, screwballs a little bit in, comes in across the plate, and then cuts in onto the left-hander.
Piechnik came on last inning, got the Americans 1-2-3. A little bit of momentum for Canada. There's a called third strike for Mike Piechnik as he gets Brian Marty. Tell you what, Lori, he's been impressive.
He sure has. Again, Doug Chase sets him up perfectly, pushes the batter back on that screwball prior to that, sets up the curveball perfectly on the outside. Piechnik getting excited, delivering the perfect pitch, setting Marty down.
Little bit of a pump there from the Canadian pitcher. Now goes against Barry Kaler, the right fielder. One away for the Americans in the sixth. Chops it to the shortstop, Chris Jones, on to Kevin Dabrowski at first, and Kaler's gone quickly 2 away for Mike Piechnik here in the sixth inning.
Piechnik's doing a great job, again, for the second time against the U.S. team. Yesterday came in with 5 1/3 solid innings, coming in again, getting the outs quickly so the Canadian team can come up and create some offense.
Got Canada down to the 7th inning yesterday. Then in the 7th, we saw Darren Zach, the formidable pitcher, who got the Americans 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts. Piechnik now against Tim Wall, the catcher. Wall singled and scored on the home run by Chris Dellerwall. Ball gets away from Doug Chase. 2-0 now. Doug Chase comes out and talks it over with his pitcher.
Needing a strike here. Doug probably coming out just making sure that he's going to call the pitch that Pieknik feels comfortable with, trying to get him back in this count.
3-0 now.
2 out. Pieknik doesn't want to get sloppy here. Terry Bader coming out to discuss the situation.
Terry Bader has been the head coach of this team since 1989. Really the driving force behind the team.
Tim Walsh singled last time, being followed by Anthony Farinacci, who has struck out twice this game. Terry Bader probably telling Pieknik not to be too fat on the plate here, maybe opting to go to the next batter.
And indeed, he puts Tim Wall on. He's trying to figure out where the strike zone is. He and the umpire have a different view. There's a check swing. They'll call it a ball, and so Tim Wall is aboard. Here's Anthony Farinacci, the third baseman.
Pieknik trying to find his rhythm here in this 6th inning. 2 away here. Options of getting out to second and first. Looking to put the ball in play, give it to his defense, looking to get a ground ball here for his team.
Crowd heating up a touch. There's a strike to Farinacci.
Nice change up there, sets up now all of his pitches as he can throw a hard rise, drop, and curve. Taking some of the aggressiveness out of Farinacci.
Every pitch critical now. There's a good cut. Swings through it into the glove of Doug Chase.
Great rise ball there. Ending of that pitch, at the ending of that pitch, Chase and Pieknik look at each other, give the nod, think they got the rhythm now.
Real heat on the rise ball. Pieknik delivered that. Little high, 2-2. .38-year-old Mike Pieknik, Victoria, BC, has 2 outs in the 6th inning for Canada and comes set. And gets Farinacci swinging to get out of the 6th. Mike Pieknik and Canada. They'll go to the bottom of the 6th, tied at 3 with the United States.
Why so blue?
Everything up here is so colorless.
We need color. They need it more down there. See? Keep it in color, you make the point. It's results. That's why there's Xerox color on the desktop.
It's also in the hall.
You can even get it at 40 pages a minute.
Guess they really do need it. But couldn't I just wear this?
Maybe on casual
Fridays.
Keep the conversation going. Share the knowledge. The Digital Document Company, Xerox.
Getting down to brass tacks now in this men's softball gold medal game between the United States and Canada. It's 3-3, bottom of the 6th inning. The Canadians are coming to the plate. It is a jammed facility here, the John Blumberg Softball Complex on the west side of Winnipeg. Doug Middleton's gone all the way for the United States, and he faces Doug Chase of Canada. Chase swinging on the first pitch, right through it for strike one. This is where Canada rallied yesterday against the U.S. They were down 1-0 to the Americans after a leadoff homer by Sean Rychik, and it was Doug Chase that delivered the blow in the 6th inning, a 2-run single that provided the margin of victory and got Canada the easy route to this gold medal game. The United States had to go through Cuba to get here. They beat them 10-0. 5-inning mercy rule invoked earlier today. Chase chops it foul. 0-2. Well, Middleton's been solid, hasn't he, Laurie?
He sure has. He's gone 6 complete innings here. You know, he could have been rattled that first inning, but he opted to keep his composure, and he's pitched 5 solid innings since, keeping Canada at bay.
Umpires are cleaning some debris from the diamond and the outfield area. There's Doug Chase. Great personality. Real stalwart of this Canadian team, 37 years old, from Port Alberni, British Columbia. Dennis Bruckert is the American head coach. Doug Middleton has the ball for the U.S. Chase chops it. Can he beat this out? They're going to call him out. He dove at first. But they got him.
Excellent hustle on his part, seeing that the first baseman had to leave his bag in order to make the play. Comes down to heart and hustle here. Doug Chase making the dive. Umpire seeing the tag by first baseman, calling Doug Chase out.
Sean Rychik extended himself and just tags Doug Chase very close at first base. Brings up Kevin Bobrovsky, the first baseman of Canada. Another look at that out made by Sean Rychik. Down and inside. Real intense battle between two old rivals, the Americans and the Canadians. 5 consecutive gold medals, we repeat, for Canada at the Pan American Games. In every case, the United States has finished with the silver medal. Swing and a miss by Bobrovsky, 2-1.
These players know each other well. There's not a whole lot of major men's teams in the United States or in Canada for that matter. A lot of times they may even play on the same teams at times, so when they're not rivals, they may be teammates on the weekend.
Now these guys have all seen the wars. 2-2 to Bobrovsky, 1 away for Canada. Down low.
Bobrovsky readying himself for the 3-2 pitch, trying to find a way to get on base in the 6th inning for Canada.
Down the third base line, but foul as Anthony Farinacci tracks it down. full count now against Kevin Bobrovsky. Bottom of the 6th inning of what should be in regulation a 7-inning game. But this one's tied. We've had 2 home runs, one by Colin Abbott of Canada, one by Chris Dellerwell of the United States, both 2-run shots. Bobrovsky gets this one into left field. He'll turn the corner at first and get himself a double. So Kevin Bobrovsky and Canada have something going in the bottom of the 6th.
Really nothing pretty about this whole play. He just gets his barrel head on the ball, big bounce in front of the plate, bounces over third baseman, gets away from the shortstop. Maybe called a hit with an error. Single with an error, advancing him to second.
Big turn by Bobrovsky as he now stands at second for Canada. Middleton's got to be careful. Shortstop for the U.S., David Boyes tried to backhand it in the hole. Got a glove on it, but couldn't get it. Adam Smith, the second baseman for Canada. Notice that Bobrovsky stays on the bag until the pitch is delivered. Now Dennis Bruckert, the American head coach, calls time. He'll come out and talk it over with Doug Middleton and the catcher, Tim Wall. There's Michael White, native New Zealander. He pitched for the United States against Canada yesterday, went the distance in losing 2-1. But it looks like they're going to leave Doug Middleton in there to face Adam Smith.
Getting to a third time through the order for Canada here. They're getting a lot of good looks of Middleton. Wouldn't be a bad call for Michael White to be warmed up. If Canada gets another hit here, gets another person on base, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in. On the other hand, Canadian bullpen, we score here, you might see some movement in the bullpen on the Canadian side as well.
And that movement could come from Darren Zach, who came into the game yesterday and shut the Americans down. Right now, consider this, Doug Middleton against Adam Smith. Smith 1 for 2 today with a single. Bobrovsky's at second base. Big chance for Canada with one away in the 6th. Smith fouls it back. Now Middleton's got to be careful here because in facing Adam Smith, he not only sees a guy who can put the bat on the ball, but the 34-year-old Smith has some speed and so can beat it out down to first base. This one is hit hard and deep, tracked down by the left fielder, Chris Dellerwell. So Smith is gone, and Bobrovsky will stand at second. 2 away now for the Americans here.
Come on, Pecker, you get out. Come on out. Drive, gets jammed just slightly, gets a little Texas leaguer, so to speak, a little dying quail to the left side. Doesn't get all of that ball, unfortunately. Out number 2.
And now Terry Vader is going to make a change. Canadians are doing some shuffling of the lineup here in order to try and get Kevin Bobrovsky home. He stands at second base. They need a hit badly now. And here is Randy Peck, who will come into the ball game, hitting .250 over the course of this tournament. So So they'll take the bat out of the hands of Chris Jones, the shortstop. Two outs. Canadians have a runner at second. Tie ball game, 3-3.
With the re-entry rule, Randy Peck will use this as a pinch hitting opportunity. Chris Jones, being stellar defensively at shortstop, will go back into the game, irregardless of what Peck does at the plate.
Another difference between softball and baseball, the re-entry rule. Keep the good defense. Another ball delivered by Middleton to Randy Peck.
Put her in the wheelhouse there, 2-3.
Great discipline at the plate here for Peck, coming in as a pinch hitter. Sometimes the adrenaline can be going, showing great patience, seeing some pitches here, getting some timing down. Hopefully he'll be able to make some contact and score his teammate, Bobrovsky, from second.
Crowd trying to urge the Canadians on, keeping it away from Randy Peck.
3-0 count. Terry Bader may give the green light here, but with Peck being first time up to bat, probably going to look at the pitch, see what's on the menu here, as Middleton will want to go with a good strike here.
Bottom of the sixth inning for Canada, and 4 pitches, he walks Randy Peck onto first base.
May see Chris Jones with his speed re-entered right now at first base. They may re-enter Chris Jones right now for Peck, putting the wheels at first.
So Terry Bader doing some shuffling here of the Canadian deck to try and make things happen. Sports Desk with James Duthie is coming up next, following the conclusion of this softball game between Canada and the United States. Right you are, Laurie. Chris Jones, the Rabbit, on to first base. Randy Peck back to the dugout for Canada. Runners at first and second for the Canadians, and their third baseman, Todd King, bottom of the sixth. Todd's 0 for 2 today. Big opportunity. Trying to hit and then run.
Todd King may be trying to draw the defense in here. With runner in scoring position at second, I'm sure he's going to take some hefty cuts, drawing the defense in, as you can see, maybe being able to open up some grassy knolls in the outfield for a base hit.
And gets it right to Rychuk, the first baseman, so that ends the Canadian threat here in the sixth inning. Doug Middleton battles Canada. It's still a 3-3 tie.
Today, Nortel Networks is changing the way businesses communicate.
Here come old Flat Top. You come grooving up slowly. You got Juju Eyeball. He's saying, I know you. You know me. One thing I can tell you is you've got to be free. Come together.
Bringing it all together with the true power of the Internet.
Come together.
Nortel Networks.
Right now.
How the world shares ideas.
Over me.
You have your mother's eyes. They hold memories in miniature. There are things that make you cry, that make you laugh. You are the sum of these parts and more. You have a voice that should be heard. Be yourself. Go far. You are not a seat number.
I'm a person.
You defy comparison.
Only tell me that you still want me here. When you wander off out there, 'cause that's the only place where you can leave your dad. I'll hold you up and be your way out. And if we burn away, I pray the skies are burned. There's no one to
Switch.
Found $5,000.
The Locker Search event at Grandin Toy. You can win a chance at 2 $5,000 cash prizes or your very own locker full of cool stuff like a ClearNet phone. It's back to school with the Locker Search event, only at Grandin Toy.
3-3 tie between the USA and Canada, top of the 7th inning. Chris Dellerwell is the hitter for the United States. Has not seen Mike Piechnik yet today, but Dellerwell has done some damage. He has a single and a 2-run home run in this game for the Americans.
Piechnik trying to even the count on a backdoor curve there. Works that time. Curve breaks from off the plate onto the plate, freezes the batter. Count 2-1.
2-1 to Dellerwell, the left fielder. Outside, evens the count at 2.
Delivered. Count full. Piechnik has a large repertoire of pitches. Very fun to watch.
He's been a pillar of strength for Team Canada, but can't get Chris Dellerwell. Very careful with the big American hitter and puts him on first base.
You guys catch that on the mic?
The Americans have a runner aboard here in the 7th, and Piechnik now has to be careful. It's a 7-inning ball game, gold medal game between Canada and the United States. Canadians came into this tournament #1 ranked, the United States #2. David Boyes, the shortstop, has a chance now, squares the bunt, takes the strike.
Down to a 1-run ball game here. USA going to try to play basic ball, play the short game, get the runner in scoring position. 1 run can win it here.
Well, Boyes looks like he's squaring the bunt, taking them right down the pipe from Mike Piechnik.
High risk, try a bunt with 2 strikes. If you pop it foul, it's an automatic out. U.S. trying to move the runner. They may opt to go with the high risk.
Boyes swinging away that time, and Piechnik gets him with the riser. 3 nice pitches against David Boyes.
Piechnik delivers a strong rise ball. Got ahead with strikes. 0-2 through a jumping rise. David Boyes could not lay off of it. Swing and a miss. It's huge that Piechnik could get that 1 out with a runner on 1.
Doug Chase, who uncoiled to snag that ball off the arm of Mike Piechnik, goes out and talks it over now. And they're going to deal with likely Aaron Earlywine, the second baseman of the Americans.
Canada would like to get a double play here.
The Americans have made a change now, and they're going to take the bat out of the hands of Earlywine and put in Brian Neveu. So Piechnik and Chase were going over the line on him. Ball gets away with Doug Chase, and down to second will go Chris Dellerwell.
Stay there, guys. Come on out.
Drop ball, screws away from Doug Chase a little bit. Continues away from the plate, gets away from, runner advances to second.
Ball hit high. First baseman Kevin Bobrovsky tracks it down. And now 2 out.
Decision has to be made by manager Terry Bader here with big hitter Sean Rychek coming out. First base is open. They may pitch to him, but I'm sure they won't get anything too good. May opt to walk him intentionally.
First baseman, number 24, Sean Rychek.
That's Bader out there now, along with Doug Chase and his pitcher, Mike Piechnik. Terry Bader give everything he has to this Canadian men's softball team. He's a teacher in Toronto, principal of a high school, and has been with the team since '89. Rychek now, the first baseman, 1 for 3 with a single, and they're gonna not give him anything to look at. There's his average through this tournament, 444, 4 home runs, and they're gonna put him on base.
Really calculated move here. Put Rychek on first. That makes it a forced play at all bases, gives Canada the option of getting out at every base.
Well, Rychek has burned the Canadians before in this medal round, and they don't want that to happen again. But now there's 2 men aboard for the United States with 2 away. The batter will be the center fielder, Stephen King, to face Mike Piechnik, who has done a terrific job for Canada. Strike 1.
Piechnik challenges the inside part of that plate again. Batter didn't like the call. In any case, we're ahead 1-0-1.
Now there's a check swing. They'll look down, and yes, that third base umpire will give it to the pitcher again. So the U.S. suffering the same fate as so many Canadian batters have today. There's the check. The umpire says, he swung through that. 0-2 now. And Piechnik gets him again. Called third strike. Mike Piechnik and Canada are out of the 7th. They'll go to the bottom of the inning, tied at 3 with a chance to win the gold medal.
It's your big blue skies, your golden sunny days, a million stars come out at night. Beneath those stars will play. Yeah, Manitoba, it's so good to get to know ya. You shine on in everywhere. Manitoba, it's all ours to embrace.
Each day, over 100 Manitobans get hurt on the job.
Back injuries are one of the most common. I know, I treat a lot of them. With the right information, many can be prevented. This free book from Workers' Compensation is full of tips, exercises, and information to help you prevent or recover from a back injury.
Call now for your free copy of Back to Basics. Work safe. It's a way of life.
Well, here's the situation at the John Blumberg softball complex. 3-3 Canada and the United States. Bottom of the 7th inning. There's the Canadian head coach, Terry Bader. Canada has the top of the order coming up. And there's the line. But they've got to get through a major obstacle, and his name is Michael White, who comes on to pitch for the United States. Now, this is an interesting story. Michael White is a native New Zealander. At the World Championships in 1996, Michael White pitched for New Zealand, and he pitched a perfect game against Canada. New Zealand won it. Canada finished with the silver medal that year. But at the Pan American Games, Michael White, because he plays for a club team in the United States, pitches for America. Canadians aren't too happy about that, but they can't do anything about it right now. They have to face one of the best pitchers in the world in Michael White, and he's got everything in his repertoire.
Doesn't make sense to you and me, but really the Canadian men's team, if they're going to win this thing, they'd like to win it through Michael White. It's make that gold shine just a little bit more.
Doug Middleton was tough for the United States through 6 innings, but gives way to Michael White, cagey veteran, and he faces another cagey veteran in Brian Patton, who will lead it off for Canada in the 7th inning. He's 1 for 2 today with a single. If he gets aboard, watch out. He can run. Tim Wall talking it over with Michael White, making sure they've got their signals straight. White.
Michael White has all the pitches again, so it's going to be real nice that he comes in after Middleton. Middleton basically a down baller, does throw the odd rise. Michael White has the changeup repertoire to really complement Middleton.
Here we go, down low for the first pitch. It's a ball to Brian Patton. Michael White went the distance yesterday against Canada in the 2-1 loss. Patton looking to bunt, pulls it up, takes a strike. Swinging a chopper, tracked down by the shortstop, and he gets him. So David Boyce with the good arm gets Brian Patton at first. 1 out for Canada here in the 7th. 24-year-old Paul Rosebush. Big international moment for him. 0 for 3 today. Chops it and runs, and he's going to get there on this one. Paul Rosebush down to first base. Anthony Farinacci, the third baseman, couldn't handle that one, and Rosebush is on. Now this is an interesting situation.
Little rise ball there. Rosebush gets on top, drives it into the ground, knowing that he can leg it out. He does just that. I think he's probably safe whether third baseman can handle that or not.
Farinacci puts the glove out, can't get it. And Rosebush is on. We talked to Terry Bader, the Canadian head coach, and he said Brian Patton, the leadoff hitter, has the green light at any time. The next guy that will get that would be Paul Rosebush. Here's Colin Abbott. Takes a strike. But Paul Rosebush is the future of the Canadian team, and he is a rabbit down at first base. Abbott has a 2-run homer today for Canada. Oh, and he swings at this one. Bobbled! Abbott out at first. Down to second is Rosebush.
Abbott drives the ball up the middle, almost too hot to handle here for the second baseman. No longer able to get the rabbit at second, has to opt to go to first, gets Abbott in time.
Nice recovery by Aaron Earlywine, the second baseman, knocks it down, off-balance throw, and gets it over to first base, and Sean Rychuk to get Abbott of Canada. So 2 away for Michael White. Here's Steve Price, the designated hitter. Nothing across for him today. Strike right at the knees.
This situation with Paul Rosebush on second base, Terry Bader's going to give him the green light, going to be waving him home on any hit. 1-run ball game wins this. Bottom of the 7th.
Big swing by Steve Price. Michael White, the American pitcher, has come on in the 7th. Has got 2, but's got a runner at second for Canada. Gold medal on the line. A hit will win it for Canada. Just low.
Steve Price's woes of the day would all be washed clean if he could come through for his teammates right now.
Crowd with him here. Checks his swing. 2-2.
Showing good patience, trying to work the count to become a hitter's count. All is even. Michael White does not want to go full count.
2 fast pitch heavyweights, Canada and the United States, all tied at 3. Swing and he fouls it off. Paul Rosebush, the 24-year-old, back to second base. Wouldn't the United States love to win this one? So long, the silver medalists in men's softball at the Pan American Games. 5 consecutive silver medals to Canada's gold. Canadians trying to keep the string alive. Have a dangerous runner at second for Michael White. Price swings at it and strikes out.
I think there was foul tip there on a changeup. Got a piece of it.
Another
Change
look.
up on the inside.
Just gets a piece of it with his bat.
Stays alive with that foul tip.
And so the battle continues. Man on second for Canada. Paul Rosebush. Michael White, the pitcher for the Americans, tied at 3. 2 are gone in the 7th. A little bit of gamesmanship as White steps off the rubber. Here we go. Price gets the bat on the ball. Oh, touched down by Earlywine. And he's safe. Safe at first is Price. What a play by Aaron Earlywine, but he couldn't get Steve Price at first. So that moves over Paul Rosebush to third base.
Great play by the second baseman to keep this in front, knock it down. Throw to first. Not in time, according to the umpire. Looks like it was, according to me.
Bang, bang play. Oh, that's close. That's close. Dennis Bruckert is out to argue that one. And well, he should. Looked like Steve Price's lead foot was still in the air. And that the ball was in Sean Reichek's mitt. Well, what an interesting situation here. 2 runners aboard for Canada at the corners. Steve Price at first. Paul Rosebush at third base. Michael White's the pitcher for the United States. And consider this. The hitter is Doug Chase. Almost a carbon copy of yesterday's situation. Yesterday, Doug Chase delivered a 6th-inning single to drive home 2 runners and provide the margin of victory for Canada.
Doug Chase right on that pitch. He knows what's at stake here. Here's a gold medal for himself, but most certainly, as he said before, for the rookies of this team.
Chase swings again. That one's a rise ball, and Michael White gets it by the veteran Canadian catcher.
Paul Rosebush at third will have the green light on any wild pitch. Pass ball here might be their only chance against Michael White. He's going to be on edge at third, finding a way to score.
White set. Chase gets it up in the air, but behind the backstop. Well, as you say, Laurie, for the Canadians, this would be sweet against their old nemesis, Michael White. Doug Chase has seen him so many times in international competition. 37-year-old of Port Alberni, BC. Part of the Canadian team. Inside for a ball.
First count to 1 and 2. Doug Chase getting out of the way of that pitch. Michael White's had success climbing the ladder with the rise ball.
Down near Chase's ankles, evens this up at 2 and 2. Should Chase somehow get aboard, Kevin Bobrovsky would be next, the big first baseman for Canada. Right now, Michael White is focused on getting Chase. There's Paul Rosebush at third. At first is Steve Price, the designated hitter. Chase gets a bat on it, fouls it off over the backstop again.
Going to battle and battle until he can get something he can hit. Michael White, the veteran, those hittable pitches are few and far between.
A lot of anticipation on the part of the crowd here. Nervous moment for Terry Bader, the Canadian head coach. And steadfast is Doug Chase. .45 feet separate Michael White and Doug Chase. Paul Rosebush is 60 feet from home. .60 feet for a gold medal for Canada. Here's the pitch. And we're going to get again. Chases him back. 3 and 2. Oh, that was close. Tell you what, Tim Wall has worked hard all day long. Lets this one just get by him. Rosebush thought about it.
Thought about it, but he hesitated. And the rule is if you hesitate, go back. And he did just that, but I'm sure he's kicking himself. It could have been an opportunity.
Just to remind you, Sports Desk and James Duthie are coming up next. We're going to finish this ball game for you between Canada and the United States. It's for the gold medal here at the Pan American Games. Titanic struggle between Michael White and Doug Chase. Runner at third for Canada. Chase fouls it off again, and this battle will continue.
This is great ball. This is just great ball. You know, everybody's nervous. I'm nervous. The players are nervous. But this is great ball. This is what a gold medal match should be like.
Canadian boys all standing up in the dugout. Doug Chase, one of the acknowledged leaders on this team. He's a teacher by profession. but his heart belongs to this national softball team and has for so long. Trying to get a gold medal out of it. And he's aboard. Canadians have loaded the bases here in the bottom of the 7th. Wow.
Just seen 2 veterans at work. 2 veterans going to war for an at-bat. Doug Chase wins this battle, advances to first on the walk. But still, Paul Rosebush 60 feet away from gold medal.
Good softball game. 7 innings might go, well, 2 hours. This one inching on to 2.5 hours between great rivals Canada and the United States, tied at 3, bottom of the 7th. Kevin Bobrovsky is the batter now, the first baseman for Canada, and he's got the bases loaded up. Bobrovsky, one of the Canadian younger players, 28 years of age, faces a master in Michael White. Tim Wall calls time and will come out to talk to his pitcher. Laurie, I'm sure you've been in this situation before internationally as a pitcher. When you're on the mound or the circle, as it's called in softball, you've got the bases loaded, have to have this man. What do you want to do?
Well, you certainly take the energy from the crowd and you try to stay within yourself and let that energy go through into the pitch.
Down low, ball 1.
But you want to win or lose with your best stuff, so you don't want to hold back in any situation like this. In order to be the hero, you have to risk being the GOAT, and so you want to make sure you bring your best to the plate.
Michael White is a pitcher of finesse, but cannot be too fine here. Oh, Bobrovsky just laid off that, made his decision way too late. By the time he did, it was by him, 1-1.
Little change up here thrown by Michael White. Bobrovsky's not able to hold back.
Bases loaded for Canada.
Rise ball out of the zone. Count goes to 2-1. Bases loaded. 2 out. What a game.
Old cliche, but doesn't get any closer than this. Canada's just that close to a gold medal. And the umpire says no. No to Michael White, and a very good pitch.
Well, we know where the pressure is now. 1 ball away from a score. 1 hit away from the score. Pressure's in the circle. The veteran versus rookie.
Bobrovsky's going to get something good to hit. Takes the strike. Full count now, 2 away. USA-Canada tied at 3. Bases are loaded for Michael White.
Runners will be going on the pitch.
Head coach Terry Pater said, we're playing this for the young guys on the team. Bobrovsky gets the ball in play. It's tipped. Canada's going to score. Canada's going to score. And there it is, the gold medal. Kevin Bobrovsky put the ball in play. The U.S. couldn't track it down, and Canada wins another gold medal, their 6th consecutive at the Pan American Games. What an outstanding game, outstanding story. Dave, back to you.
You're absolutely right. You know, there's a game that does not get a whole lot of national television exposure. It's a great result for the Canadians, but 2 very evenly matched teams, and that is a good advertisement for the game of softball. Another gold medal for the men. The women will try to do the same tonight. We'll be back in a moment to put a wrap on a great day at the Pan Am Games here in Winnipeg. In the ball half of the seventh inning, Team Canada scored 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 Team USA error and 3 runners left on base. The final score in this evening's game, Team Canada 4, Team USA 3. Ladies and gentlemen, your final line score for this evening's game. Team Canada scored 4 runs on 7 hits, committed no errors, and left 9 runners on base. Team USA scored 3 runs on 5 hits, committed 1 error, and left 5 runners on base.
Mesdames et messieurs, nous vous donnons un rappel que la remise des médailles se développera sous peu. Suivant cette présentation des médailles, on aura ensuite le match sur ce losange entre les femmes où le Canada affronte les États-Unis.
Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that the medal presentation will take place for the men's division on this diamond. Following the presentation, the women's Team Canada will meet Team USA in search of Pan Am Gold.
This weekend, it's all over but the Cowboys.
Yeah, that was that'd be Canada beat US in that field. But they were down. Canada scored, was down by 3 and that guy Stewart hit 3-1 homer.
Partager des moments inoubliables. Cérémonie de clôture. Il suffit d'un billet pour vivre les Jeux.
This weekend is your last chance to watch the Americas play. Plan to take in all the events you can, including many semifinals and finals, as well as the spectacular closing ceremony. For tickets, call Select a Seat or simply purchase a ticket at the venue. Good seats still available, but after this weekend, they're gone. Don't miss out on the second game. One ticket and your game.
Pour obtenir des billets, téléphonez à la billetterie Select a Seat ou présentez-vous au guichet du site même. Il reste encore de bons billets, mais après cette fin de semaine, il n'en restera plus. Les 13e Jeux panaméricains, il suffit d'un billet pour vivre les Jeux.